Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to show you how to read and edit Excel files using MATLAB. First, let's create a blank script where we'll write our code. In the same folder, let's create a sample Excel file and fill in some data. Make sure to save the file. Now we'll use MATLAB to open that file and read the table we just created. Before we can open the Excel file, we need to start an Excel session to interact with it. We'll use the ActX-Server function. Just type excel.application as the input. Sometimes you'll see the letters E and A written in uppercase. Doesn't matter. Uppercase or lowercase, both work fine. All right, let's see what happens when we run this ActX-Server command. As you can see, the moment we run it, an Excel session pops up and it gets stored in MATLAB's temporary variable, ANDS. Now, let's close that session and start fresh. Let me show you one more time so you can see it better. To actually use this Excel session to open a file, we should store it in a variable. Let's call it Excel app. Don't forget the semicolon at the end, so MATLAB doesn't flood the command window with output. Cool, now our Excel session is saved inside Excel app. Next, we'll use it to open our Excel file. Inside Excel app, there are tons of methods we can use. Type a dot and hit Tab to see them all. The one we want is Workbooks. When you want to read a cell in Excel, the steps are: open the workbook first, pick the right sheet, and then access the specific cell. To open a file, we use workbooks.open. Just pass in the full path to the Excel file as a string. If you only pass the file name without the full path, MATLAB will throw an error. Let's run the open command. The file is opened inside the Excel session, but you won't see it just yet. To actually see the file open up, we'll set the visible property to 1. And there it is. Our Excel file is now visible. If you want to hide it again, just set visible back to 0. But for now, let's keep it visible so it's easier to follow along. To work with this workbook, we'll save it into a new variable called Workbook. Let's close Excel for a second and rerun the commands. All right, now we've got a live connection to Excel through the workbook variable. We've opened the workbook. Now it's time to dive into a specific sheet. Use the Worksheets method inside Workbook. Then pick a sheet using item number. Since our data is in the first sheet, we'll use item 1. If you had 2 sheets, they would be numbered left to right, 1 and 2. So yeah, if you move the sheets around, the numbering updates based on their new left to right order. That means sheet 2 becomes number 1 and sheet 1 becomes number 2. Close the parentheses. Now, if you type a dot after that, you won't see method suggestions. But no worries, you can still chain more commands. To make things cleaner, I'll save the first sheet into a variable called WS. Again, add a semicolon if you don't want MATLAB to print the result in the command window. I'm going to show you the difference between running a command with and without a semicolon at the end in MATLAB. Next up, reading data. We use the range method. Suppose we want to read cell B3. Just pass B3 into the range function. It doesn't matter if it's uppercase or lowercase. Let's store the cell in a variable called cell so we can explore its methods. First, I'll try activate, just to show you. If we were originally selected at A1, after running cell.activate, B3 would become the active cell. Now we want the value of B3. Type a dot and choose value. Let's run this command, and the command window should display the value from cell B3, which is Jack. But hey, what if the cell is empty? Let's test it out. So the first thing you'll want to do is navigate to any empty cell. For example, like cell B6. As you can see, if we try to read an empty cell, MATLAB will return nan, which means not a number. If I add data to that cell and read it again, boom, we get the value. What if we want to read a whole column, a whole row, or even a full table? Same idea, just specify the range when you use range. So for example, let's say I want to read the data in the first column, which goes from A1 down to A5. And voila, here's the value within the range from A1 to A5. Okay, so we're looking at B1 through B5. And we snagged it again. Yes! All right, now I'm gonna head back over to cell B3. So how do we actually know if we're reading the right cell, the one we're aiming for? Just use the address command. Whoa, spot on. It's definitely cell B3. Now, what if I want to change this guy Jack's name to Nick? How do I do that? We're still going to use the value command, but this time you guys are going to set the value to whatever you want. And obviously, that's Nick. Or if you want to change Mary's name, it's the same thing. We'll point to cell B5, use the value command, and change it to Zendaya. Oh wait, I meant MJ. Now you want to grab all the data in the whole table, huh? It's just like before. We type in the range of cells we want to read, which is A1 to C6 here. Let's double check if we've got the right area selected. And then we use the value command again. There you go. But what if you don't know how big the data range is? No problem. That's what the used range function is for. Oh snap, almost forgot. There's another function that's super crucial for knowing which sheet we're currently pointing at. It's worksheet.name. And lucky us, we're bang on target. We're in good old sheet 1. All right, now let's circle back to that used range command we were playing with earlier. So from our workbook variable, just pop a dot and then type in used range. Then, same drill as before, hit them with that value command. And boom, here's all the data from the used range, the area with actual stuff in it, from sheet 1 of our Excel file. Super useful. You can also insert formulas into Excel cells. For example, let's calculate the total of the age column, column C. I'll put the result of this calculation right here in cell D2, so I'll be referencing cell D2. You can either use formula or value to write formulas into a cell. I'll use value here. So to get the total, it's super easy. All you need to do is enter the following into this cell, equals sum C2 of C6. That's it. And there's a ton of other stuff you can do. For instance, merging cells. You can merge the cells manually like this. Or you can use MATLAB to handle this operation more automatically. Just select a range, say D2 to D6, and use the merge method. You can even align text inside the cells. Let's say I want to center align the merged cell. Use horizontal alignment to align horizontally. If you're ever confused about which constant to use for a specific alignment, this table will be a helpful reference. To center horizontally, use a constant like NIDA 4108. Oops, I made a mistake. Let me double check the selected range. And the currently selected range is D2 to D6. Turns out, when you're working with merged cells, you should only reference the first cell of the merged range. Once that's fixed, horizontal alignment works fine. You can also align vertically, top, middle, or bottom, depending on what you need. And here, as an example, I'm going to align the text to be in the vertical center as well. Or you can align it to the top if you prefer. And finally, after we're done editing, if we want to save the file, just use the save method. You can check if it's saved using the saved property. Zero means not saved yet. 1 means it's already saved. When you're done, call close to close the workbook. But even after that, the Excel session we created is still running. So, call quit on the Excel app variable to properly close Excel. Whoops, and hey, don't forget to capitalize these methods. And one last step, use delete Excel app to clean up and make sure Excel isn't still running in the background. All right, everyone, that's the foundation of what you need to start interacting with Excel using MATLAB. But the learning doesn't stop here, so feel free to dive deeper. I'm excited to share more cool things I learn with you all, anything and everything. And please, if you know something awesome, share it with me down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. And if this video helped you out, even just a tiny bit, give me a like as a little encouragement. Thank you all.